The fourth and final event is the Square Vertical Bar. This will be the first time this implement has been used in competition, so I'm really excited to see what sort of numbers people can get. I know I've seen a few getting over 100 kilos so far, which is amazing. So we'll just have a quick look into the lifting rules and I'll show you the technique that I use for lifting on it. So here it is, the Square Vertical Bar. A really nice implement actually. It's something that I've been trying to train with a bit more recently. So this is why we decided to put it in as an event, because it is actually a really good test of strength and it is suitable for all different types of hand size as well. We find people with the bigger hands struggle really to get a good grasp on it, whereas people with smaller hands might find that it fits really nice within their fingers. So just quickly, while it's nice and close up, you can only touch the top and the sides of the square bar. You obviously can't get underneath and grab it that way. This is something the referees really are going to be looking out for. So you've got to watch out for that if you are going near the bottom. My technique is basically I will always start, rest it in my hand, and I'll almost try and just fit it in and wrap it round like that. So I'm really trying to get as tight as possible on it, minimalising the amount of space in between the bar. If you're grabbing it sort of like this, you can see there's a bit of gap there. It's less skin on the bar and it's less friction that you're going to be able to generate whilst pulling it up. So it's just going to slip out of your hand. I know some people like to go near the top and some people like to go near the bottom. It's all just personal preference really. The lower down you go, the more strain is going to be on your wrist, and the higher up you go, the more strain is going to be on your upper forearm. So I like to try and go in the middle as a nice little safe ground, and then if I slip a bit, I've still got a bit to grab onto. Whereas if I was grabbing it at the top and I slip, it's going to come straight out my hands. That's just my preference. As always, just give a few different techniques a go, see how you find it, and I'll just run through the lift now. All right, here we go. Got the square bar on. It's a 6-inch lift, and again, you've just got to watch out for grabbing underneath the bar, because this is the main thing the referees are going to be looking out for. So I will grab onto the bar, lift, I'll drop my legs to make sure I'm engaging my legs to use them to lift the weight, and then lift, touch the bar, and lower it back down. One thing I really try and do is keep my arm as straight as possible really, just trying to focus on the squeeze. I'm not trying to lift with my arm, like using, you know, sort of like that, sort of like a row, because I'm really relying on my back strength and my forearm to lift it then. All I want to be thinking about is squeezing onto the bar as tight as I can and using my legs to lift the weight. That's pretty much it. Just watch out for resting your arm on your leg and then grabbing underneath. They're the main rules. Obviously, if you drop it, it's a no lift. Really simple, really. The best ways for training for the square bar, if you don't have one, are using the shaft of the loading pin. So let's just take this off. So you can train on like a vertical bar like this. That's a really simple way, and it's probably the best way. I guess if you've got a barbell, you could always sort of try doing curls with it maybe. But anything you can, you know, pretty much use a straight bar on. The square bar is pretty similar. It's just a bit awkward once you get hold of it. So that's the square bar. Let's wrap up. All right, guys, so that is event for the Square Vertical Bar. It's going to be a really fun one, this actually. It is a really fun piece of equipment to train with. And like I said, if you don't have it and you've got access to a loading pin, just try vertical lifts with the loading pin. That is a really good way to replicate this lift. So if you've got any questions about any of the events, just let us know. But that's it. I'll post another video tomorrow just going over the more in-depth rules on what you're allowed to, like straps, wraps, what kind of chalk you're allowed to use and stuff like that. So I will see you then.